What's up? I'm Noelle at Noelle's Notions, and this is Fame by the Flame with Esoteric Informer. Esoteric Informer, that's a really unique name. How did you come up with that?
Truth be told, like back in 2012 when I was coming up with ideas for knuckle tattoos.
Knuckle tattoos, all right.
It has to be 2 words of 8, because 2 words with 8 letters in it. So Esoteric kind of stuck with me from a hip hop song that I heard from the Underachievers. So I used that and then added the Informer because esoteric means like you're kind of like a set of information that's not really designated for the masses. So want to like represent consciousness and like really like putting that information out there to the public. So
yeah. So with that, I know your name is to not only inform people of a different style of music, but what is your main drive behind why you create music for the fans?
Creating music was actually on the back burner. I started off as a DJ and really got into music later on. But really, it's honestly has become a different form of marketing, really. Just something for the fans to relate to, and then also like to represent what I like to play live. So,
okay. Yeah. So where is your most recent live show that you've played at?
Currently I have a residency with a kava bar out in Davis. So I DJ for them every 2 months or so. Little small capacity venue, but the fans come out and they have a good time. And even though there's no alcohol served, we still go hard. So
well, I was gonna say, so that's not a bottle of beer in your hand, right then?
No, yeah, kombucha is my life source. Yeah,
gives you the energy to perform.
I haven't started brewing my own yet, but I'd like to get.
So to come then, look forward to that.
Esoteric kombucha, it's already trademarked. So
gonna be on the shelves this summer for sure.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So you said you had, the idea to get knuckle tattoos. I see you have a lot of tattoos on you. Is there anyone in particular that, I guess maybe sums up kind of like your style?
Well, I'd like to shout out my tattoo artist himself. From everything that you can see here, I go to the shop out in Davis called Death or Glory. Sean, you can follow him on Instagram. He's awesome. He has more of like an American contemporary style, which is not anything on my, on my skin whatsoever. But something that I could probably show to everybody now is my first tattoo, which is my lip. So
sick.
It's just my birthday year. It's something like too crazy. I grew up a swimmer, so like I couldn't like get crazy tattoos all over myself or it would show. So I was 18, got a lip tattoo, and I'm surprised that it's still there.
Yeah, so that's when the rebel phase started, right?
As soon as I could start speaking at age 2, so that's when the rebel phase started.
That's young, got him young.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I see that you have a huge following in Sacramento, and you're starting out in Davis. Where is your favorite place to perform? I guess in the 916 now that you've branched out.
We have a great underground local bass scene, to be honest. I played venues before. My first club venue was Badlands at Trap Night on Wednesday nights. So they pull in sometimes 500 people in there on a Wednesday night. It's unheard of. So they do a really good job. Badlands is always really fun. Even if you play an earlier slot, 10:30, 11:30, people are drinking those $1 shots, and who knows what happens after that. But I really enjoyed that.
It's a little blurry after 11 o'clock.
Absolutely. I don't know how these people do it and go to work the next day. They're hardcore. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, that's a really good venue, and I've had residencies at other bars and stuff like that. But Badlands really throws down. So
awesome. So what's the first? What's the first moment that you can remember where you became infatuated with music?
I grew up around my dad having a guitar, and I didn't really put a guitar in my hand until I was probably in middle school. So having that just, influence around my life. He was by no means a musician or anything, but it's just kind of cool to jam on a few chords now and then. So I still have a few guitars now. And that was probably what gauged my interest into music in general. So
playing with your pops is kind of the jump off point for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I was always that annoying kid at a party who wanted the aux chords. So why not turn that into actually doing something?
Making money off of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when you're on stage, what is the feeling that you have when you look out into the crowd and you see all these people who are just dancing their butts off there for you? What's the feeling that you get?
It's unrelatable, really. I'm sober. I've been sober for almost 5-6 years now. So it's remarkable to just get out of just get out of your skin for a moment and just groove with the crowd and make everybody happy. And I play a diverse amount of music in my sets, and I go through a lot of songs. So It's kind of cool to just feel it out a little bit and see what people are digging, and hopefully they enjoy the set that I have planned, and we just kill it.
So what is the best compliment, I guess, that you've received from a fan?
There's just one time I had a show in Aptos, which is in like the south of Santa Cruz area. I had a residency out there for a while with Organic Events.
Okay.
Shout out Organic Events. They're super cool. They do events, here and there, Organic Fest and whatnot. But I was setting up for the show. I played right before the headliner, so I opened up for this guy Michael. He's a pretty good artist. And this guy comes up to me, Michael Hotchkins, and we're now really good friends. But he's like, "Dude, are you so and so?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I checked out your music on SoundCloud." I was like, "I'm super stoked to see you play." I was like, that was like unreal, to be honest. Like, for someone to just like go like out of their way to just like talk. I mean, it's like little things like that, really, to be honest. So.
Well, I guess it's those little connections with the fan that make you realize that people are actually not only listening to your music, but they're recognizing it above everything else.
Yeah, that's like honestly what you shoot for. Honestly, like. I mean, it's nice to make money off shows and everything, but like if you're really like reaching out to people and they're enjoying what you're putting out, it's like awesome. So
with a name like Esoteric Informer, you must believe in past lives.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So who do you think you will be coming up, and who do you think you were in the past?
That's a tough question, really. I mean, I'm a big fan of like psychedelic culture, so I've experimented with like psychedelics and everything, and an introspective relationship with myself, and I haven't really dwelled on what I was in the past, really. But ideally, if I could reincarnate as something, probably be psychedelic mushrooms. If I'm being completely honest.
Pass on the good vibes to someone else.
I know before we sat down and I said sloth, and it's like cool. Like, I mean, I'm already a sloth. Like, I'm vegan, so I don't eat anything but leaves, anyways. So.
Well, I wouldn't say you're technically slow moving. I mean, you're fast moving in the music industry. So.
True. So, I mean, yeah, honestly, like that'd be kind of cool to be like influential to people's like aspects and like perspectives of their lives.
Helps them open up their mind on it.
I mean, if you think about it, mushrooms are a living organism. So, I mean, why not?
Yeah. Where do you say you'd find yourself in 10 years, or even 5 for that matter?
5 years is reasonable. I mean, I ideally honestly do have like 2-year like plans and increments and stuff like that, but 5 years is I mean, honestly, like I enjoy the recording aspect of music. I've really gone into like mastering my own tunes. The last project that I put out, I had a friend of mine, Kyle, aka Super Task, who's a really good producer out in Oregon, mix my music for me and master it for me. But that'd be kind of cool if I accumulate enough equipment, which I do now. Minus like a recording microphone, I think it'd be kind of cool to almost like provide recording experience and like opportunities for local artists,
awesome.
who can't afford big studios.
Yeah, so moving kind of from a performer to a producer.
Yeah, behind the scenes thing is always kind of cool. Like I think people don't really appreciate what actually goes into making a tune, especially when they just think DJs are out there pressing play, and I've spent hours on just one single song and it's being played and it's only going to be about 45 seconds long because I'm going to the next song anyway, so it's definitely puts in perspective.
So is there any potential collaborations that we can see in the future now that you're kind of moving on to a different level within your music?
That's a good question too. I think there's a lot of cool like local artists. One I can say in particular that's like I've taken interest in his music is this artist Sinclan. He used to be in Helicopter Showdown, which is like a huge dubstep group. They just came to SAC recently and played a show, but he's a really good producer. Specifically does like trap and dubstep, which I'm kind of getting into. I do more of like the rhythm, like 140 BPM, kind of slower dubstep, but he's super cool. I know like this guy Azus is awesome. We just like came over and practiced with me DJing last week, and like the setup that I have is like good for practicing for live performances, and that's probably from the Sacramento scene. I think we'll probably get some things going.
Cool. All right. Well, so stay tuned for that, you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Good things to come. So, where do you see yourself performing next in Sacramento? I know you said you branched out in Davis. Do you think you're going to keep extending in that direction, or is there any particular venues that you have your eye on here in the 916?
I was devastated today because they posted the lineup for all of the This Is Midtown already, and I was not on any of the flyers. It's okay though, Joseph Lazoya, like I forgive you, but like I really wanted to play This Is Midtown. It's cool though, like honestly, like I haven't played a lot of local shows. I recently got a new job working full time, so like I'm kind of working on blogging a lot more on my website that I just put out last week, and I just put out an album on Sunday. So I've been like kind of like cavemanish, just getting things in order. So
well, tell us a little bit more about your website. You said you just put that up.
So it just links a lot to my social medias, and then I also have an aspect for the blog which like talks about like art, fashion, lots of music stuff, and then information, obviously. And then there's definitely a section for memes. So
cool.
I make my own memes. So like,
yeah,
it's
I've
pretty
received
much,
a couple of those from you. They're freaking awesome.
It's
man.
like how I get half my notoriety.
It's like, oh, I've seen your memes, so I love your music.
I could be the best DJ, but like if your memes suck, you're not really a good DJ.
True, right? In this day and age, it's all about the memes.
Yeah.
So with local performing, I know you said you kind of still open to shows and different festivals like that. Mm-hmm. Have you ever thought about expanding beyond Sacramento and going anywhere else in like SoCal or even beyond that?
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, I used to DJ with Organic Events out in the Santa Cruz area. Mm-hmm. They do the Organic Festival, like I spoke earlier. So that was like some of the bigger shows that I've ever played. We crammed this bed and breakfast in this small town with like 200 people. It's like a 50 capacity venue. And like huge names would come through, like Saruda, like Yuki, who is like he has songs with like Slander now. And like to be able to like play on the same stage as these guys, like no matter how small the venue is pretty crazy. So San Jose is always super smacking. Like I did a show there like 2 months ago. That was super cool. San Jose Live. So I really got, the reach out in the Bay Area is kind of tough right now. I haven't really played a show out there in a long time, but as far as that goes, that'd be kind of cool. LA, haven't played there yet, but that'd be awesome.
Eventually, right? Expanding down.
Yeah.
So would you say there was any point in your career thus far that has been a pivotal point in your career? Maybe something that stood out that kind of made you go a different direction or, change up your style?
I mean, honestly, I'm super humbled anytime I really get to perform, honestly. Like, I like just like go back to like when I talked about like that guy who like came up to me and like said like, oh, I like your music, that's awesome. It's just like I remember sitting around before I started DJing, I could hear the DJs who were playing dope big events were talking about like, oh, I got this booking like this weekend, but I have to cancel it. Like I don't really like want to do it. I'm like, I hope I never get to that point. Like I'm always like amped. Like I played 2 shows in one night. Like you just have to like just be prepared and like go out there and like have some fun. Honestly, like sometimes people have their days and they don't want to perform. I understand, but just honestly staying on top of like being motivated to actually go up there and do anything anywhere. So
well, I think that separates the guys who don't make it and the mega performers is basically that drive to and passion to play and pursuit of entertaining your fans.
That and buying likes on Instagram. That gets you pretty far apparently these days.
Right, buying it likes. Yeah. So I'm assuming then that yours is all organic, just like your lifestyle.
Organic as fuck.
Yeah.
Can I cuss?
I'm pretty sure we can bleep that out. But
okay, for sure. Sorry, Mom.
Switching gears from all the cussing, go around this. Is there any particular songs that never fail to move you? Like ones that just either by yourself, jamming to your own beats, or just an old classic that just gets you out of your chair?
I love all different kinds of music right now, and even in my sets, like I'll throw on hip hop all the time. I'm really a big fan of like underground rappers from like the East Coast, like Denzel Curry, like from Florida rappers right now, Puya, Fat Nick, Underachievers are killing it. They've always been killing it. I always see them when they come to town. Flatbush Zombies. So that's where like hip hop like really just like goes off. Really, I've seen them multiple times. And then like as far as like trap producers and stuff like that, like I spoke on Yuki earlier. He's got like such a crazy unique sound. Getter's super awesome. He just came out with this crazy track called Inhalant Abuse, and that song's like crazy experimental. And really it just comes down to like what I'm really feeling, to be honest. Like I can like some days I can just listen to like some cool like throwback jazz or something like that if I wanted to. It just depends on how I feel.
Okay, cool. But what inspires you?
Oh, great question. Really, like it's just about like pushing the envelope on what it means to be a DJ. I know nowadays you have to market yourself as a brand and be an all-encompassing like persona, and I think really just like incorporating all of my lifestyle and like choices and like experiences that I had into music and informing people is like music has given me a great like pedestal to put that at and like reach more people that way. So
well, it's definitely a good thing because you once you get to know yourself, that's how you can kind of share your likes, your dislikes, and what you're trying to communicate with your fans.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just comes with experience and being more like secure in like what I know and what I don't know, what I feel like people like deserve to like realize about this world.
You lightly touched on, as evolving as a DJ and going into producer, but how has your music or your persona for that matter changed since the first time that you performed to now?
Oh, I know exactly what I could talk about is what I perform on, because I used to be a MIDI like controller DJ, which is like very basic, like you're using a laptop and like a MIDI controller you have to carry everywhere you go to a venue.
Yeah.
But now like I'm like basically showing up to a venue with a USB and I can plug into CDJs now. Like,
oh, sweet.
Like,
okay.
It's just like been a whole revolutionary like process to like create like a great live performance and play like shit. Sometimes like 3 or 4 songs like at a time. CDJs are becoming the industry standard for clubs and venues, so I was at a very, very disadvantaged like point because I didn't know how to play in those.
Okay.
So it's a better sound. It creates like better environments for performances, and it's awesome like to just honestly like walk into a venue with just a USB plug in and you're good to go. Like it's so cool.
Just roll out just with one thing, ready to go.
I mean, I guess that's why we get like a bad rep for like not being musicians, but I would like to see any guitarist like who's never DJed before get up and play CDJs because it took me a while to learn, so it has to be hard for them. Jeez.
We'll talk about your your performance. I know you have a new album. Tell us a little bit about that.
Thanks for asking. The EP is called Identity. It's a short little 5-track EP. It features an intro track, a little bit of electro house and trap style. There's a rhythm song in there, and then a hybrid trap song, and then a hip hop song that I did with a local rapper, King Gix. You can look him up on SoundCloud. He's the track has his name and his socials on there. So.
Awesome, and we can find your album on your website, esotericinformer.com, which will also have all the links to your social. You're on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook.
And Facebook, all right.
Yeah, for sure. All up in your mom's DM.
Yeah, right?
It's awesome.
Is there anything else that makes this album stand out from some of the other stuff that you put out?
Yeah, kind of going back to my roots of like when I used to like first produce, I was like making ambient, like really like chill trap, like tribal stuff for like yoga studios. Like I used to DJ in like a yoga studio. So like the music was like very chill and like I said, informative. Like I would put clips from like David Icke or like movie like clips that I felt like were very like informative to like the public. So the intro track I'm like super proud of, and that's really like getting back to my roots of like really taking those cuts and putting them together and blend them well to like a song was like kind of cool. So
awesome, and we will have a preview of a song off his new album at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. Before I let you go and before I have the fans take a listen to that, do you have any last words for your fans? Anything that you want to say before we sign off?
I appreciate the time. Let me sit down with Noelle here. We go back for a little while. Like she got me a lot of gigs here in Sacramento. For a while, I wanted her to be my manager, but that's cool. Like, and later on. And before I go, I actually brought you a gift.
Oh my gosh!
I hope you're medium, but this is like my shirt. It's front and back. I haven't put these online yet, but it'll be available soon.
No, this is perfect. Yes, look at this. So online, check this out. You can also get yours.
Esoteric
Get your Esoteric Informer swag on.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, awesome. I mean, it's always great to interview a friend, and I hope that the fans get a lot out of this because I love your music. I know that Sac's loving it, and I'm glad to see you expanding, man.
Great. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Perfect. All right. Well, until next time, this is Noelle and Noelle's Notions with Esoteric Informer and Fame by the Flame.
But we nailed that one. That was
that was great. That was great. Yeah, totally. That was great.
Good show.